If you're still giving away 40% of your income because that's just how it works in your country, let me be blunt with you. You're not funding roads and schools. You're not funding someone else's lifestyle. Just last week, I spoke with a German entrepreneur who pocketed 327,000 euros last year. No shady loopholes, no late night calls with tax lawyer. He just set up in Dubai properly. Meanwhile, his competitor in the same city and the same industry kept handing over 40% to the German tax office, like it was a Netflix subscription he couldn't cancel. And that's the difference between those who adapt and those who get left behind. And here's the part no one tells you. Dubai isn't the same playground it used to be in 2020. A lot has changed. The rules and the regulations, the system and the structure, and so much more. And if you're following old YouTube advice, you're walking straight into a very expensive wake-up call. So today, I'll take you through and break it down what's really changed. How to choose between free zone and mainland without falling for marketing fluff, the truth about corporate tax that almost everyone misunderstands, and the exact structure you need to keep more of what you earn legally, transparently, and without the headaches. Here's the truth. Dubai 2025 is not a tax haven fantasy. It's a real thriving economy with rules that actually reward entrepreneurs who play smart. Over 35,000 new companies joined Dubai chambers in just the first half of this year. 8,000 every month, and yet most are still following outdated playbooks. They're chasing zero tax screenshots from 2022 blogs like tourists using 19th century maps. And here's the shift. The UAE rolled out federal corporate tax in 2023, and everyone panicked. But here's the twist. It actually made Dubai more attractive. Why? Because it separated the paper companies from the real ones. Smart money understands this. The new system rewards legitimate businesses while everyone else keeps running scared. This is where most smart people make dumb decisions. Free zone versus mainland. Picking your setup based only on the cheapest quote is like buying a car just because the down payment is low. Free zone is your VIP pass. 100% ownership, 0% corporate tax if you qualify, and simple incorporation. But you can't directly sell in the UAE without extra steps. Mainland, on the other hand, is your flight ticket to the entire UAE market. A government contract, local dominance, and unlimited visas. Of course, you obviously face a standard 9% corporate tax above 375,000 AED, but for the right business, it's the only route to make sense. The key is timing. Build a structure that works for you today, then adapt. And that's what we design for our clients. Structures that evolve with them, not against them. Here's what most people don't realize. Most businesses in the Dubai never actually pay the 9% tax. Profits under 375,000 AD let you pay zero corporate tax, and that's around $102,000 tax-free. Make 600,000 AD profit and you'll pay 20,250 AD. That's an effective rate of 3.4%. Now, compare that to 25% in most of Europe. You see the difference. And if you qualify as a qualifying free zone person, you could stay at 0% indefinitely. But qualifications isn't automatic. The authorities check. Substance matters, and if you don't meet the requirements, you don't just pay 9%, you pay penalties too. And this is where most people mess up, and it's why we build tax strategies into your setup from day one. The days of setting up a paper company and calling it a business are over. The UAE isn't interested in certificates that collect dust in your jar. They want substance, real operations, real commitments. That means your business isn't just a name on a license, it lives and breathes in Dubai. You've got an office where decisions actually happen. You or someone else from your team is physically present. Your company meetings, your strategy sessions, your banking activity, it's all rooted here. And I've seen what happens when people try to fake it. A UK client once thought he was being clever. He opened a shiny free zone company, managed everything remotely from London, and assumed the UAE authorities would never look too closely. But they did. His free zone status, gone. his tax bill 3 times bigger than if he'd just done the right from the start. And that's why at Emifast, our first step is never filling out forms. Our first step is designing your operational footprint so you meet substance requirements from day one. Because if your foundation is weak, everything else will collapse the moment someone tests it. In Dubai 2025, the message is clear: build real or don't build at all. Getting a visa is easy. Using it strategically, that's the difference between freedom and a tax nightmare. Most free zones give you 2 to 3 visas, mainland gives you more flexibility. But here's the mistake. Thinking your Emirates ID automatically erases you from your home country taxes? It doesn't. Tax authorities back home look at your central of life. Where you spend time, where your family is, where your decisions are made. That's why the golden visa is such a game changer. 5 to 10 years of uninterrupted residency. It gives credibility when you say, I live in Dubai. And the bottom line is, if you want the benefits, you can't half commit. You need to actually build life here. Let's talk about the point where most dreams crash: banking. Dubai banks have tightened compliance. They want proof of real business activity, not just a pass-through account. Crypto, forex, general trading, expect extra questions. But here's the upside. If you're legit, banks like Emirates NBD, ADCB, or even digital players like Rio will back you. For our clients, banking becomes a one-meeting formality because we prepare the story the bank wants to see: clarity, transparency, and real proof. I've watched brilliant entrepreneurs lose fortunes in Dubai, not because their business failed, but because they set it up wrong. The first mistake is picking the wrong license. Your license isn't just paperwork. It dictates what you can and can't do. I've seen founders choose a general trading license because it sounded flexible, only to discover later that it restricted the very business they wanted to run. The second mistake is ignoring economic substance until it's too late. Trying to bolt on substance after you've been operating for a year is like trying to pour a foundation under a house that's already built. Expensive, stressful, and very messy. Third, they forget to plan their exit from their home country's tax system. So while they're celebrating their shiny new Dubai company, their home tax office is still waiting with a bill. Suddenly they're paying taxes in 2 places instead of none. Then comes the classic trap: going cheap on setup. Saving 5,000 dirhams with a bargain setup provider sounds smart until the mistake costs you 50,000 in fixes. Plus sleepless nights when banks and authorities start asking questions. And finally, underestimating compliance and renewal cost. Too many entrepreneurs budget for the launch, then forget the ongoing reality. Counting, renewals, annual filings, these aren't optional. Get them wrong and the fines will pile up very fast. Each of these mistakes can drain 6 figures before you even realize what went wrong. And that's why at Emifast, we don't just fill out forms, we run scenarios, we stress test your structure, and we make sure you're building on solid ground. Because avoiding mistake isn't just about saving a little money, it's about protecting your future. So now, what's the play? Smart entrepreneurs start by facing the facts. They strip away the hype and ask, does my business fit Dubai's system, and how do I make it work for me? That clarity is everything. Next, they build a structure, not a one-size-fits-all setup, but a design tailored to how they operate today and where they want to go tomorrow. They prepare properly, documents, attestations, compliance, all lined up before they even step into a bank or a government office. And they don't do it alone. They bring in people who know how it works, because guessing your way through the UAE regulations is how expensive mistakes get made. Finally, they move with strategy, step by step in phases. No drama, no surprises, just a clean transition into a business that's real, compliant, and future-proof. And that's the Emifast process. Brutal honey, straightforward and precise, and built to last. Dubai 2025 isn't a loophole. It's an opportunity, one of the fastest growing economies in the world, a zero personal tax system, and a business hub connecting East and West. But here is the catch. You have to do it right. Play by the rules and the system rewards you. Cut corners and you'll pay the price. At Emifast, we've guided thousands of entrepreneurs through this process. If you're ready to protect your profits, expand globally, and stop funding someone else's lifestyle, now is the time. Visit emifast.com to book a free consultation, and we'll walk you through the exact blueprint we used in relocating from Europe to this part of the world. Are you ready to keep 95% of what you earn, or will you keep playing the old game where the tax office always wins? The call is yours. If you find this video valuable and insightful, subscribe, like, share, and let's continue the conversation in the comments.